You're listening to Mitch's 미친 영어 audio podcast. This is the official audio podcast companion to Mitch's 미친 영어 application, as well as Mitch's daily English neighbor blog and Facebook page. Improving your English listening skills one podcast at a time.
Down at the bar like a star in the howling rain. Nobody to love you, nobody to care. If you got nobody to hug you, no one to answer your prayer, you get left like a
It's the week of Friday, March 15th. Hello, everybody. My name's Mitch, and this is my podcast. Did you have a nice white day? Isn't White Day March 14th, I think? I'm not sure. I can't remember anymore. Maybe some of you single people out there who are young and free, maybe you know White Day. I think it's March 14th. Anyway, hope you had a good one. Hope you got something. Got some chocolate. Got something from somebody. This is my podcast, Mitch's 미친 영어. English is crazy, as you know. I'm teaching my students these days. I got started back at the university. The semester is underway, and mostly freshmen, first-year students. And the thing that I always notice is that they look very, very surprised and confused and a little bit bewildered. Do you know that word? Bewildered means they just don't look, they look surprised a little bit, but confused and surprised. That's the mixture of those two words. That's what bewildered means. Because they're freshmen, they're first year students, and we're, having English class, and they realize English is crazy. Doesn't make any sense. The grammar is crazy. Why is the be verb? We talk about the be verb, but we never say the word be, right? We say I am, you are, he is. It changes, and we never say be. It's crazy. So English is crazy, and I tell them that, and they laugh and they think it's funny. But everybody knows it's true. You know it's true if you've studied English. So I guess any language probably is crazy. When I studied Korean, of course, I thought Korean is crazy too. But English has a special amount of crazy, as you know, because it's just, some things just don't make sense. So that's what we need to keep in mind as we study English. That's why I have this podcast, which is 미친 영어, where we talk about things in English, only English, 100% English. It's a way for you to improve your English listening skills. And of course, my blog, Mitch's Daily English, that's where I blog every day about different topics. And you can go there and study English with me in a kind of relaxed, fun way there on the blog every day. If you keep up with the blog every day, this podcast will be much easier to listen to. It'll be easier for you to keep up and understand what I'm talking about, what the clips are that I play, different audio clips, that kind of thing. If you're studying with the blog and the podcast together, it's a good match. It's a good set. So try to do both of them together. And also don't forget my application at mitchinenglish.com. That is available for free for you to download on your Android device or on your PC. It's an application that has, there's the free version has access to all of my, my podcasts, my blogs, blog posts, my YouTube videos. All of those are there for free, and they update automatically. So if you have it on your phone, for example, and anytime my podcast comes out, anytime my blog is updated, it will automatically show up on your feed in that application. So it's very convenient to have it all in one location. Could be for you. And also, if you want to become a subscriber, you can get access to all of my videos, my lessons where I teach you how to speak like a native English speaker. Could be very useful for you, could be helpful to help you speak English like native English speakers speak, which you can do. It's not impossible. Many people, when I say that, they think, oh, that's not possible. I can't speak like a native English speaker. Well, you can. It's possible. I've met people who do it. I've taught people who do it. It is possible. It takes a lot of work, a lot of time, Lots of effort, lots of listening as you are doing right now. Lots and lots of all of that stuff. But you can do it, and my application will help you. So go ahead and download that. Check it out. If you want to become a subscriber, you can do that. And if you become a premium subscriber, you will get access to a video lesson with a native English speaker. So that is all there on the website for you. How's everybody doing this week? Are you having a good week? Is everything going well? Are you getting back into it? If you're a student, getting back to school, studying hard, getting excited about the new year. Most of my students are going on MT these days. The first couple weeks of school, every major goes to different MT, which if you are older, maybe you remember your university days. MT was a very exciting time, so a lot of my students are excited about that. Some of my students told me today they want to meet some girl. They're very excited to have a girlfriend because they're new to university. They want a girlfriend, but they said their major, it's mechanical engineering. So they were very upset because in their major there are no girls. So they said they want to go to MT and meet some girl, but they can't because in their major there's no girl. It's such a sad story. Such a sad story. I told them just change your major. Change it to another major. A lot of girls are in the food and nutrition major. They could move over to that one. Or musical. We have musical major at my university. There's lots of girls in there. I told them if you want to sing and dance, you can just change your major. But maybe they won't. Maybe they don't want to. I'm not sure. Anyway, we got good stuff to talk about this week. Lots of good stuff. Not just college students and their girlfriends, but we got things from the blog that were on the blog this week. So if you've been following along with the blog, then you will know the things we're talking about. So let's get into it with entertainment reviews. Well, I recommended a movie this week on the blog, and you need to see this movie. You should see this movie. If you don't see any movie that I've recommended so far in 2019, this one you need to see. I loved this movie. It's called Paddleton, and it is on Netflix. It's a Netflix original. It just came out last week, so it's new. It's an indie film. It's made by one of the main actors. There's two actors in it. Ray Romano, who's a very famous comedic actor. He had a sitcom on TV for a long time called Everybody Loves Raymond. And he's been on other shows. He's doing more dramas these days. And then the other actor, Mark Duplass. And Mark Duplass is the writer and director of this film as well, and he's a filmmaker. He's an actor, comedic actor as well, and he does films. He makes indie films, and this is kind of an indie film. But the good thing about Netflix is they put a lot of money behind, indie films and any film. They don't care if it's a big budget film or a small budget film. They support it very well, and so that makes it possible for us to see movies that maybe they wouldn't make it to the movie theater, because this kind of movie, maybe it wouldn't be able to go to the movie theater because it's very expensive for movies to go to the theater. It's quite expensive, but because of Netflix nowadays, they don't always need to. And this movie is one of those. It's an indie film. It's a film about friendship. And it's going to make you cry. I'm going to warn you. You're going to cry. You're going to need some tissues close by because it is a tearjerker. Tearjerker, as I've said before, means it's so sad. It just jerks the tears right out of your face. It makes you want to cry. It is not, some people don't like to watch sad movies, and I understand that because you don't want to feel sad when you watch a movie. But this is one of those that you should try anyway. Just make an exception because it is very well done. It's about two friends. It's a movie about friendship, and it's about these two guys. They live next to each other. They're neighbors, and they just have similar personalities, similar interests. they don't have any friends. They're not, they're both kind of these outcasts of society who don't, they're not good at making friends and talking to people. But somehow when they moved into the apartments next to each other, they got very comfortable with each other and became close friends, and they like to hang out together and watch movies. And, that's just a very, we call that a platonic friendship. Platonic is, they're just friends. That's all it is. There's nothing romantic or there's nothing sexual about it. They're just friends, and they like each other. They like to hang out. And you don't see many movies about friendships these days like that, between two guys, two male friendships with no scandal or anything. So that part of it was interesting. And then the story is basically one of the friends is dying from cancer. He's got cancer, and it's very late stage, and there's no cure. He's going to die. It's going to happen in a very, very painful and not comfortable way. As you know, if you've been around anybody who had cancer, it's not an easy way to go. And so he decides there's some pills that he can take that will help him die in a very peaceful and easy way. Okay, now this is not even possible in America. It's not legal to do that. So it's a fiction movie. It's not true, because you can't. They don't have that kind of assisted suicide where you can just take a pill and die peacefully and that kind of thing. But in the movie, it's just a movie, so of course it's a made-up story. It could be possible in the future. I could see that happening. But anyway, the two friends decide they're going to do this together, and it's the story of them trying to. One friend is trying to help the other friend die, basically. But more than that, that seems like a very sad and bleak story, and it is. But the reason I like this movie so much is because it really isn't about one friend trying to help the other friend die. This is about two friends helping each other live in a difficult world. They're both not very good at communicating their feelings. They're not good at talking to other people. They don't have friendships. They don't really have any family that they show in the movie. They're just trying to live life, and it's difficult alone. And they found each other through just circumstances, and they found each other, and because of that, they have this deep friendship, and it helps them to get through life. And I thought that was the beautiful part of this story, and so you should definitely watch it. I just gave the whole story away, but the trailer also does that as well. So it's not a secret. It's not like a spoiler movie. It's just a beautiful, beautiful story, and you should definitely watch it. Both the actors who are not usually known for dramas, they do a very good job of acting. It is kind of a funny movie too, because they're both comedians and comic actors. They have a lot of funny parts in the movie, but it's also very serious. So check it out. Here is the trailer for Paddleton.
All right, listen, how about this? How about I'm going to make a statement, and if it's a true statement, then you don't have to correct me. Is what Michael has incurable?
Dude, that's a question. It has to be
All right, it has to be a statement.
And then
All right, so my statement is what Michael has is incurable.
That's it.
So I'm thinking, before it gets bad, I want to end it. I don't want to change things, I want to make some pizzas. I want to play some Paddleton. They got a whole process that they give you these pills you can take, but I don't want to do it alone, and I was hoping you'd help me out.
Don't drop it! The places where you could fulfill the prescription is 6 hours.
Guess we can do a little road trip.
What's the worst case scenario? What's the worst case scenario? We run out of gas here. Next thing you know, we're drinking our urine.
How do you get from running out of gas? The next step is drinking urine.
Fastest land animal, 40 miles an hour.
The cheetah goes 60 or 65.
I'm the dying guy.
I'm the dying guy. Stop saying it.
I'm the dying guy.
I'm the other guy.
If you had to live like this,
You could adapt. This is how bees see.
Mike.
You thought you were dead. You can't give up. Miracles happen.
Yes, sir.
And as I often like to do, I like to play some interviews from the actors and the directors. And so here, Ray Romano and Mark Duplass, both of them are interviewed about this movie, about Netflix, about making indie films, about improvising, that kind of thing. So let's listen to their conversation.
Take me into the movie, because boy, this sounds like a hoot. Assisted suicide picture?
Yeah, assisted suicide, guys. It's the best thing going these days. This is a story of Michael and Andy. That Ray and I play these guys, and they're kind of this strange outliers, guys who have a hard time making eye contact with you, and they have basically found this beautiful male platonic friendship in each other. And it's about basically what happens when they're faced with a cancer diagnosis for one of them and the threat of losing that.
Where does it come from? I know you've made like 132 movies in the last 12 months.
133.
You're
actually,
always working. Where does an idea like this come from? You read an article? Does it come from real life?
You know what it was? It was a little bit of it was a response to the way that quote-unquote bromances are portrayed on camera, which to me is like, it's always like a joke if men try to be intimate on camera in any way, shape, or form in a platonic way. And this one, we really wanted to explore what it was like to just like have a truly intimate male friendship and how special they are to each other. Kind of the way romantic comedies do, but with just two special guy friends.
When you're putting together a flick, how do you decide when to, I'm going to direct this, I'm not going to direct this?
Well, in the case of Paddleton, which I co-wrote with Alex Lehman, who I made another movie with called Blue Jay, he felt like the right fit there. And lately what I've been doing is trying to write and produce more and allow, like, honestly, younger, more excited directors take the helm. It allows me to be able to do more projects because I'm not spending an entire year doing that one thing. You know, when you're directing, you have to be monogamous to that project. But as a writer and a producer, you can be polygamous. I said that in Utah. I guess that's okay. And I really, I think at this stage of my career, I like giving shots to younger filmmakers to, like, see what they can do.
Do you script? Is there a full script? Or
it depends on the project. For this project, we try to keep it fresh by shooting from an outline, and then we try to shoot in chronological order as much as possible.
Which, for those watching at home, like,
it's rare. You don't get to do that.
Right.
But and what I would do is I would write some sort of sample pages every now and then. The night before we would shoot a scene, so we'd have a guide, but we wouldn't memorize it, so it would still feel fresh the next day. And then whenever we were done shooting, we would all have dinner together, the cast and the crew, everybody together. We'd talk about what we'd shot. And as you're improvising, certain things happen. So, oh my gosh, they fought more than we thought we would. So then we would change the scene the next day just a little bit to sort of incorporate that. And when you make a movie like that, as unplanned as this is, I grab a bunch of people, I throw us off a cliff way before we're ready. You lose some things because you aren't as well prepared. But what you gain in spontaneity and nerves and all that freshness, I think, is what I'm going for.
It may have spoiled me. I don't know if
you had to go work with fucking, what was that guy, Martin Scorsese, you had to go work with after?
But he's kind of loose too.
Yeah.
He lets you do a little thing, but then there are
Doesn't
directors,
let everybody do that.
Yeah.
He does it with you because you're good.
Well, but then you get directors where it's, just say the words, and that's fine too. But this was so freeing and so unique, man. It was so cool.
this is a Netflix jam, like that deal where you guys get to make a bunch of Netflix movies?
Jam,
How
which
they
basically,
been?
they're so great, and I'm looking you in the eye, and I'm saying, I'm not just saying that because they pay for my movies. They are great for
You're not the
young
first.
independent
Dan Gilroy
filmmakers.
was talking about the same thing.
It's really, I mean, look, there's no secret. Like, I'm making small relationship-based movies in a marketplace that doesn't really value that, and there's 500 movies and TV shows we all want to see anyway, and Netflix is basically using their money and their power to subsidize this kind of art and put them out and promote them on their channel. So as long as they want to have me, man, I'm in.
It's crazy, man. The indie film community seems to have been funded at this point by
We
Netflix.
were all scared. We all thought they were Starbucks coming in, and then we were like, but wait a minute. they're Starbucks. That means they're making a lot of money. They'll give us some.
And we like coffee.
Yeah, and they're cool. So as long as I do what I do and what you have done through the years, which is just like as long as I keep it cheap and they let us do what we want to do. It's great.